and I came to you. Tell me.
What's up, YouTube? It's your girl, Courtney Love.
And your boy T-Mill.
And we back. Okay, y'all. So, as you can tell by the title, we're just giving you guys a life update on a lot of things that has happened since our last video. And child, if I tell you it's a lot, it's a lot.
But it's a blessing.
Yeah. So, and as you can tell by the second half of the title, there is no more baby. No more baby. She's not home yet, but we're gonna get into that. We're just gonna start from, I guess I would start around Cody's birthday time when everything really transpired.
So that was the.
So basically, y'all, my son had COVID first. Cody had COVID, so we had to cancel his birthday. Cody's birthday was August 5th. We had to cancel his party because he had COVID. So we rescheduled his birthday party to August 20th, that Friday at Urban Air. So you guys, Cody's fine, everybody in my household fine, Terrence's fine, I'm fine. We goes to Urban Air after his quarantine is up. We have a good time. The next day, I get like a little small cough. I knew it was something. I kind of figured, oh, it was COVID because I don't get sick. Terrence can tell you.
No. I
don't get sick. As a child, I just had like minor sinus infections, but I don't get sick. Terrence even had COVID at the beginning of the year. I didn't get sick. When Cody had COVID, I didn't get sick. Whenever my kids are sick, I don't get sick. Like, I'm always the healthy one. I'm fine. I rarely take vitamins, okay? So, that was the 21st. I noticed I got like a small cough that Saturday. So, Sunday, I went to my aunt's birthday thing at Painting with a Twist. And I was kind of ready to go. I wasn't feeling myself. Like, I was kind of feeling like down a little bit. Like, not depressed down, just like my body was like
aching.
Yeah, it was like aching, and then like my cough was getting more stronger, like more aggressive. So I rode with my mom, and I'm like, I'm ready to go. So even she knew something, because I'm the life of the party. I be wanting to stay. I be wanting to dance. I be wanting to talk. I just be wanting to turn up. And that wasn't Courtney at the time. Like, Courtney was like down here. So I was like, I'm ready to go. So we ended up leaving. And even in the car ride on the way home, my cough was just, it started getting bad. So that remind you that was Sunday. So that Monday, when I woke up to get the kids ready for school, my body was just aching really bad. It was like a constant ache, like that wouldn't go away. So I'm still trying to get the kids ready for school.
You have to wake me up.
And so I come in the kitchen to I had ended up waking Terrence up to help me. And so I come in the kitchen to try to get them ready for get them some breakfast ready. I start leaning over the counter. Like, I was literally about to pass out. My chest was hurting me so bad. I had the cough. My body was hurting me, like I said. And I just felt really dizzy and lightheaded. And I knew something. I was like, you know what, Lord, I gotta go to the doctor to go get tested, because for me, not only for me, but for my kids, and you know, the Terrence, like everybody's here, I need to be safe. Like, I need to know the status, like what's going on, like, you know. So, Terrence ended up taking the kids to school. I called my mom, and I'm just crying, and I was like, I need to go to the hospital. And she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I don't feel good. And she's like, well, just take some medicine. And then I was like, no, my chest hurt. And she's like, oh no, we going now. She's like, I'm on my way to get you, get ready. So literally she got here within like 10 minutes. So we goes to urgent care. Urgent care to open to 9. I was trying to get on the list at like 8, and it wouldn't let me. It said the list, like you couldn't book an appointment online. So we there about 8:40. And next thing you know, I see people start lining up out there. So I was like, let me get out the car, but I barely can stand up, so my mama got out the car with me. So we waiting in line. So at 9 o'clock we goes in. The lady already tell me it's 19 people ahead of me, and I'm like, how the hell is 19 people ahead of me? And it's just turned 9 o'clock. She's like, oh well, the booking site opens up at 8:45 online, and I'm like, dang, I wish you would have said that on there so I would have known. But anyway, so I didn't wait at the urgent care. I ended up going to Methodist emergency room. So when I went there, remind you at the time I'm 33 weeks pregnant. I go there. They telling me by this date is August the 23rd. Yes, it's August 23rd. So we go to the Methodist emergency room. My mama drops me off because Terrence was still. I think he had just made it back home because I had called her when he was dropping kids off to school. So I ended up telling him, what was going on, blah blah. So my mom was like, "You want me to stay with you?" And I was like, "Nah, Terrence is about to come up here and he's about to bring me some stuff." So Terrence gets up to the emergency room because they had already put me in the back. They started running blood work on me. They took a COVID test. Then they had to do an X-ray on me. Well, no, they didn't do the X-ray yet. They was doing a COVID test, and they was just still they was trying to monitor my baby. So Terrence comes. They tell him, "Oh, you can't go to the back." And I'm like, okay, so I gotta be back here by myself. I'm pregnant. I gotta be back here by myself. So I'm kind of sad. So he ended up giving me my charger and some other stuff or whatever in my purse. So the people brought it to the back, and so he was gonna wait in the car, but they was like, no, he might as well go home. You gonna be here for a minute. So I wasn't there. I didn't stay overnight. I stayed there for a couple hours while they monitored. And so at first they was gonna let me go home. Then they was like, the doctor ended up hearing my cough. He was like, your cough is too aggressive. At first I didn't hear it. He was like, I want to run an X-ray on you. So he do an X-ray. Come to find out I had mild pneumonia on the outside of my lungs. But they couldn't really give me anything because, remind you, I'm 33 weeks pregnant. So it's not a lot of medicine that they can give me to take. So, okay, they end up telling me your COVID test will probably be back within a day or two. So just download my chart and your results will be there because they can't do the so many people having COVID and so many people taking tests. They can't give you your results anymore over the phone, blah blah, or they're not gonna call you. So you just have to look on my chart. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm at home. I'm in pain, remind you. It's not medicine that they can give me, so I'm just over here suffering. And so I called my doctor, and that's when I was telling him I had a little cough or whatever, and they told me I could take Desolin and Mucinex and stuff like that. And so that I ended up getting my COVID results that day, right before 5 o'clock, before my kids got out of daycare. And it said I was positive for COVID. After that, everything went downhill. Literally everything went downhill. That was August 23rd that I was diagnosed with COVID.
The worst day of our life.
It's like everything changed. And if I tell y'all, I didn't really, but it's like I believed in COVID, because after Terrence got it, but what I went through wasn't near what Terrence went through.
No, what you went through, I can honestly say that was the worst I ever seen you sick. I ever seen you down, anything I tell people, when you get sick, you probably be sick for 2 days because you take your medicine. I don't take medicine like you. So for me, seeing you just sick like that, and it really took a toll on all of us. For real,
it was just
it was the worst.
So that was August 23rd. August 24th, August, when I found out I had COVID, immediately my mama stepped in and was like, the kids are coming over here. No questions asked. The kids are coming over here. So Terrence had to we found out right before, because daycare closed at 6, so we found out right before it was time for them to get out of daycare. So Terrence is rushing, making them bags and stuff or whatever, trying to get them prepared, to be at my mama's house for a little minute. So I'm in the house. So August 24th, my body's aching so bad I can't move. My chest is hurting. My cough is so aggressive. At this point, I have chills.
You didn't want to get up and use the restroom?
I didn't want to get up and use the restroom. No, nothing. Like I was in pain. That's the 24th. The 25th hit. Terrence took me to the hospital again because I wasn't feeling good, y'all. I wasn't my best. I felt really bad. My chest was hurting me, like really bad. I felt like I couldn't breathe. So we get to the hospital and it's like you see all this stuff on the news, like they telling you it's no hospital beds, you know, like it's no rooms and stuff like that. You see it on the news, but it's like,
you know, you forgot to say one thing. When we walked up there, they said you only can go in there by yourself. You can have no visitors.
Yeah, and then that's another thing. Like it's kind of mad. Yeah, it's kind of sad because it's like
you gotta go through that by yourself.
You gotta go through that by yourself. You can't even go. Like he's my spouse. We're legally married, and he couldn't even go in the back with me. Like that was.
And she was pregnant. They seen her stomach and everything.
And so it was just like, okay, this is already sad enough. I gotta deal with this by myself. But I goes to in there and I sign up, like give them my name. I couldn't go to the labor and delivery floor because I had COVID, so they didn't want to expose the other mothers. So I had to wait in the regular room downstairs. So after 4 hours, they finally the lady was like, no, she's pregnant. We can't keep her around all these other people because she's high risk. Because they ended up putting me in a back with another room with people that had COVID. So the lady was like, oh no. So they ended up putting me on a pediatric floor, but I wasn't around kids. I was in a room by myself. And so they ran tests on me, and they ran a lot of tests on me, and they wanted to do a CAT scan. But I didn't really want to do a CAT scan because I'm like, I didn't want to put my baby at too much risk because 2 days ago they had already did an x-ray on me. So I feel like there was too much radiation on my baby, so I declined it. But they were saying it's nothing else that they can do. They couldn't give me any medicine. So it's like I was really there for no reason. So I was just like, okay. So once I declined the CAT scan, I was like, can I go? They was like, yes. I was like, I'd rather go home and just deal with this on my own or whatever. So I went back home and I'm in pain. I'm crying because my body is aching. So I'm crying because I don't feel like I'm gonna make it. Like it literally felt like I was on my deathbed. I was crying because I'm just like, I'm not gonna be here for my kids. Like, am I going to be here to watch my kids grow up? And that was my main concern. So it's just like, and at one point I just honestly felt like giving up because how bad it was like hurting me. Like I wanted to give up. My kids wasn't here. Terrence was doing the most he can do, but it wasn't like too much he can do because I'm in pain. My mama ended up coming over because it got to one point where I couldn't talk. It took a lot of energy out of me to talk. I'm just not, when Terrence asks me questions, I'm nodding my head. I'm not eating, I don't have an appetite, I'm throwing up, I'm even throwing up water. So my mama came over here one day and was like, she woke Terrence up early in the morning and was like, look, go down there, the kid, come downstairs, the kids is right here with me in the car. You go to my house, I'm about to stay in the house with her, I'm about to clean up, I'm about to disinfect the house, and I'm about to pray over her. And so my mama crying because nobody is used to seeing me like this. I'm always the outgoing person, regardless, sick, labor, like I'm laughing, I'm joking, I want to keep everybody around me happy. But at that moment, I couldn't. Like, I couldn't do anything. Like, I could barely hold myself up. So it was like depressing. So it started messing with me mentally. Mentally, I was like, Lord, it is what it is. Like, I just pray my kids be in good hands. Like, I'm done with it. I just want to feel better. So fast forward, you guys. On August 31st, I woke up that morning, and if I tell you I was in bad pain in my stomach.
Every time you call, you can see your stomach sinking in.
It was like going in, and it hurted so bad. Like, it wasn't contractions. I knew I wasn't in labor, but I didn't know what it was, and I didn't feel my baby kicking. So I couldn't really scream. So I called Terrence on the phone, and I'm like, Terrence, something is not right. Can you come to the back room? So he comes to the back room. By this time, my kids are home now because they was ready to come home. So, but they wasn't still around me. I was still in my own room, so I wasn't exposing them to anything. So, he comes into the room. What's wrong? I'm like, you need to call the ambulance. And he was like, why? And I was like, because I'm in really bad pain, like with my stomach, and I'm barely talking to him. Like it's like everything trying to come out, but it's like whispers. And I'm like, my stomach is in pain. So he called the people. So the paramedics and stuff come. When they come, my oxygen is low. My blood pressure is high, and they said I was dehydrated. So they took me to the hospital. So we get to the hospital, they immediately put me in a room. And so they offered me something called a COVID Reagan or something like that. It was an infusion. It wasn't to help, basically it was just to help speed up the process of COVID, not to decrease my symptoms. I was still going to have my severe symptoms that I was having, but it was just going to speed the process up. So I was like, at this point, I was willing to take anything. So they did that. They did a CAT scan on me again. I finally let them do it again, so they did that again. So it was just no blood clots, because that was their main concern, to see if I had blood clots, because COVID caused blood clots. So it was nothing. But what they did find out was my pancreatitis inside my stomach had inflamed up due to COVID. So that was causing me so much pain. So they couldn't help me because they said, their team wasn't really familiar with it. So they had to transport me that night to a whole nother hospital. So the ambulance came, the EMS came and got me. So I'm going to a whole nother hospital across town. So I get to that hospital, they doing another CAT scan. Remind you, I'm still pregnant. They doing another CAT scan. They have to do MRIs, and my anxiety is bad. So for the MRI, it was longer, so it was like an hour. So after like 45 minutes, I told them to like get me up out of there, because I feel like I couldn't breathe. Like I just started having an anxiety attack. So they let me out. They put me in a room. I couldn't have really nothing on my stomach, so they couldn't have the baby monitor on my stomach. They only had it on there for a little period of time, because anything on my stomach was hurting because of the pancreatitis was inflamed. So, is my heating pad on? Cause yeah, it's kind of get cold. But so yeah, remind you, I'm still in the room by myself. So that morning, I feel like I started having contractions. So I called my mama and I was like, it feel like I'm having contractions or whatever. I was like, but I don't know if it was contractions or the pancreatitis that was inflamed. So she was like, I'm about to tell Terrence to come up there, and I'm about to tell him to bring me the kids. Remind y'all, I forgot to tell y'all, I missed this part. My mama ended up getting sick, because I guess she came over here, so she ended up catching COVID. And so I was like, no, I didn't want my kids to go over there because you're sick. And so I was like, I'll be fine. And so she's like, no, he's coming up there with you, because if you're in labor, you're not about to go through this by yourself. So I was like, well, let me ask the nurse first. So the nurse is like, well, I don't see you have contractions on the screen. She was like, let me check you. So she checked me. She's like, you're 3 centimeters dilated. You're fine. You can be like that for a long time. And she's like, and plus you can't have visitors due to you got COVID. So I called my mama back. I'm like, well, they say I'm not in labor, and then they also said I can't have visitors. So that was at like 8 in the morning. It was 8 going on 9. At 10 o'clock, somebody opened the door, and I'm thinking it's the nurse, because I'm in the room crying, because at this point my contractions are back to back. And so I'm in the room crying, so I'm thinking it's the nurse, because I asked for some medicine. It's Terrence. And so I'm like, how did you get here? Never mind, don't even worry about that. Help me. Like, I'm in pain. Hold my hand, do something. So immediately he walked in the room and had to do work. Like, he didn't even get a chance to sit down, baby, how you doing, or nothing. I'm holding his hand, I'm crying, I'm jumping up, going to the restroom, because they feel like I have to pee, so only a little bit of pee is coming out at a time. So I'm peeing.
You jumped in the tub with IVs on and everything.
The lady talking about, get out the tub, ma'am, and Terrence my Courtney, you can't do that. I'm cussing him out. I'm not trying to hear what she got to say, because y'all don't know I'm in pain. So they talking about, your IVs cannot get wet, ma'am. I'm in pain. I'm like,
what you did, you told me to put a paper towel over your IVs.
Yeah, I'm like, well, put some paper towels on there, do something. And I end up telling the lady, I need some medicine. Because remind you, they still thinking I'm not in labor. They think it's just the pancreatitis that's causing me so much pain. So, and I'm not really knowing what's going on neither, because everything is happening so fast. So the lady was like, okay, I'm getting your medicine. So then I started feeling like I got a boo-boo. So Terrence was like, oh, no, you in labor. So I'm like, I got a boo-boo. So Terrence like, you better not boo-boo. You better not boo-boo.
And I had that baby in that toilet.
Yeah, he was like, you better not have that baby in that damn toilet. Quit it. Get out. Like, come sit down. I was like, no, Terrence. It hurts so bad. I'm crying. And so the lady was like, oh, if she got a boo-boo, she can boo-boo. She's like, she can use the restroom. You know, she's not in labor. And so Terrence was like, ma'am, I heard this before. Like, he's like, I heard this too many times. So I'm like, okay. So remind you, I'm just still in pain. So the lady comes in there. She switched my bed sheets out. She said, okay, get in the bed now. I got your medicine. It's a medicine that you can click every 10 minutes or whatever. Like, you can click it as many times as you want, you know, and it should help you. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I get in the bed. She say, what she said? It's a
malfunction on the medicine.
You don't know, on the machine.
On the machine.
So she was
but
like,
she took so long.
Yeah, she's like, let me go get another machine. So at this time I'm in the bed, y'all. So I said, T, like I gotta pee. And he was like, man, come on, let's go to the restroom. I said, T, I can't make it to the restroom. So I did like this, like I'm on the bed. I'm like, T, I'm about to squat. I'm about to pee on this damn bed. So he was like, man, Courtney, no. So I lift up, you guys, to squat, like I'm about to pee. So when I lift up, it's nothing but blood all on the white sheets. I look, I'm talking about, Terrence was like standing up, and I'm like, ah, it's blood, it's blood. And so Terrence was like, he like this. He went out the room and said, ma'am, she's bleeding, she's bleeding. So they all come rush in the room like it's a movie, you guys. I'm telling you, like, the doctor, she's trying to put on her COVID little vest. She's trying to put on her gloves. She's trying to put on her hat. She's trying to put on her things up for her shoes. She's trying to do it. She's talking about, oh my God, she is bleeding. Hold on. So they hurry up and try to hook the little medicine thing up still. So the doctor was like, let me check you. So she put on her gloves to check me to see if I'm dilated some more. So I squat, like, you know, I'm opening my legs to see if I'm dilated some more. She said, ma'am, she's talking about, I don't even need to check you. She said, I can see the baby head. She's like, but your water bag ain't break yet. And she was like, so she was going to get something to like basically break my water bag. So I was like, I'm about to push. They was like, no, I'm not even in the labor and delivery room. I'm in a regular room, you guys. Okay? So it's nothing there for my baby. So they was like, do we have time to take her to labor and delivery? They was like, no, we gotta do this right here. So I ended up pushing one time without their permission. And if I tell you, it was like my water bag like bust. It just splattered everywhere. So they was like, oh my God. So the lady was like, ma'am, don't push. Hold on. I said, ma'am, I gotta push. I said, I feel it right here. I feel it right here. So I pushed one time, and literally Tanner, which is my baby name, you guys. Her name is Tanner Stormy. Tanner came smoothed out. So the lady, you know, the doctor called her, of course. Terrence cut the umbilical cord. And normally I do delayed clamping, but you guys, everything happened so fast. I didn't have time and no say so. Like, I was just glad to be kind of out of some type of pain. You know, I was just kind of relieved. So when I had her, she was 4 pounds, 11 ounces. I had her at 11:09. So remind you, I just told y'all Terrence got there at 10 o'clock. So he didn't have time to do nothing. Literally, it was work for 1 hour and 9 minutes. I didn't get a chance to touch my baby due to me having COVID. So I don't know how she smelled. And today is September the 11th. My birthday is in...
So we ain't seen her 10 days.
My birthday's in 50 minutes, you guys. My birthday's September the 12th. So my birthday will be in the house this year. But that's fine. But I haven't seen my baby in 10 days, and it's about to be 11 days. I haven't smelled her. I didn't get that connection that I got with all my other babies as far as holding her, bonding with her, you know, skin to skin. I didn't get that, and I'm craving for it. I be trying to be strong. I think at nighttime it hits me. That's why I really can't sleep, because I be thinking about her and I just be like, I don't want her to feel like she's abandoned, like no one loves her, and like I'm just so grateful that I have a friend that turned into a family. She's not even a friend. This is my sister. This is my lifetime sister. I love her dearly. From the moment I was pregnant, anytime I didn't have a lot of kids, y'all, but from anytime I got pregnant, she always been there. Not only physically, mentally, as a friend, just like if I'm going through postpartum, she's there to hear me crying without judging me. So I was like, you know what, Terrence? And it's crazy how the situation worked because I met her and I didn't even know her and her husband went to school with Terrence. And but we made them Tanner godparents. Before all this even happened, they was there we labeled them Tanner godparents. And so when this happened, I knew I made the right choice of making them Tanner godparents because immediately she stepped up. Oh, you got COVID? I'm gonna go see the baby. I'm gonna make sure the baby, is good. I'm gonna go up there. She has been going up there almost every other day, you guys, checking on my baby, sending my baby pictures, holding my baby, doing shopping for my baby, like dropping off clothes up there to the hospital for my baby. Anything my baby needs, she has done. And I think we're both grateful for her.
Yes.
We're grateful for my family and my friends. If I tell you guys, so many people have stepped up to the plate to help us, and it's just like that. You just don't know, like, that type of genuine love, like what that means, especially when you're going through something, like especially what I went through. Like, I literally feel like I was on my deathbed. I feel like I wasn't going to make it to see my kids. Like, I'm still suffering, you guys. That's why I have on this heating pad. Like, I'm still in pain. I have to get my gallstones removed. But I just feel like we're just going through a storm, and God is testing us. But after all this is over, we're going to have something on the bright side. Like, right now, we have so many. This is our testimony.
It is.
We got so much good stuff going for us, like, that it don't make no sense. Like, for one, I wasn't going to say anything, but we're moving. I'm not telling nobody the location because, there's some creepy people in the world, but we're moving, and that's something we both wanted for our family. And as our family is growing, we need to move out this apartment. So I feel like God is just, testing our faith. And at first I kind of did give up on my faith, but I'm so glad, that I have a strong mom. I have a strong grandmother, aunt, and I have friends that, that believe in God and that are quick with their prayers, and, and they said so many prayers for me and my family, and I'm just really thankful for all that. And I'm thankful to be here today. I'm thankful to be able to celebrate my 29th birthday, regardless if I'm in the house tonight, just to be around my kids and Terrence. And I honestly feel like me and Terrence's relationship grew stronger because of this.
I can say, to me, I used to always see you complaining how tired you was and all that, and I really took. I used to always be like, man, I don't get it. But them 2 weeks, I look at her different.
He always, because you guys.
I can give her. I'm so proud of this woman because I understand I'm so proud of you because every time I went back there, you was crying, you was doing so much. I used to have a smile on my face. I had to tell this woman, come on, don't give up on me, don't give up. But I was so hurt because she was hurting so bad and she was so worried. The only thing she kept worrying about is her kids. She could be back there, we could hear her back there coughing. One of the kids could be crying. What you doing to the kids? She
Even
back
the
there
dog.
sick. What you doing to the dog? What you doing to Bella? What's going on with you? Next thing you know, she was so worried about her kids, and everybody know how Courtney is about her kids. Her kids is her everything, they her world. So when I seen her down, and my kids kept asking me every day, when my mama gonna come out the room, when my mama gonna come home, when my mama gonna do this, when my mama gonna do that. And then me seeing my wife cough, seeing my wife's stomach sinking in, seeing my wife go downstairs, get carried out on the stretcher, that hurt me to the core. And my kids, my mama coming back home, this and that. And then when I seen my little girl come out, my wife, that was the most beautiful thing.
I didn't ask you, did you get a chance to hold her?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I got to see her. I got exposed. I was exposed by you. That's why I couldn't really do it.
Oh yeah.
But I wasn't tripping because I felt like what we went through, we really, it was bad, but we really got closer together. And that was nothing but God, because I just pray that my wife never go through nothing like that again. Because I always the one that's sick. Me and my kids always the one that's sick.
And I think God was trying to teach me how to become more open to getting help. Because I'm the type of person, and my whole family can vouch for me. It's like I like receiving help, but then again, I don't. Like I be having a lot of people offer me help, especially with the kids, and I'm just like, I'm so attached to my kids, and I'm so afraid to like let my kids go off because I feel like somebody will hurt my kids. Like nobody has ever hurt my kids, but that's just the mind frame that I have. I just be want to keep them underneath me, and then like when people be like, hey, do you need anything? I'm always saying, I'm quick to say no, because I just feel like you know, I can handle everything. But with this situation, like I said, it taught me how to just be more open to just receive help. Like, and we actually got a lot of help, and we had a lot of support around us. So we didn't go through this alone.
Not at all. We go through this alone at all.
I just really want to say thank you to everybody who was there for us, who prayed for us. We really needed that.
For my partners, her friends, her grandmother, her aunt, her mama.
And I'm just so glad, you guys. Like, I'm not 100% better. I'm almost there. But like I said, I'm gonna keep saying I'm so glad that I'm here.
We're not giving up.
You know, like I'm glad I'm here. Like I still have my moments. I can't walk around too much. I'm taking so much medication, you guys. On the back, that's pretty much all medicine that that I have to take. But I'm blessed. We're blessed. Our family is blessed. So I just want to tell people out there, you know, be safe.
Stay
Because
with a mask.
COVID is real. So just take everything seriously. I am a NICU mom for the first time, and I'm excited about this journey that I'm gonna have with my baby. I'm excited about this moving journey that we're about to have. I don't think we're gonna do a house tour, you guys, because like I said, people are weird. So just say your congratulations, and that's it.
It is a house though.
Mhm.
We got a house.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know this is a long video, but I just really wanted to share our life update. And I think, you know what? Should I upload a picture of Tanner at the end of the video so they can see how she looks?
Yeah, of course.
Now I'm gonna wait till she get home and dress up. If y'all want to see how she look, y'all can always go on our Instagram. My Instagram is _Courtney_love, LOVEE. So I think that's correct. If not, I'm gonna have it in the description below, and you can see the baby. But thank you guys so much for tuning in.
And please stay masked up, please.
And when Tanner gets here, I will be I'm away, give her some time. And I would definitely do a video with Tanner so you guys can see, because you are our family now, and we would love to keep you updated during this process with us. So that's it. Until next time. Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and sing it because it's my birthday. So I'ma sing it. It's the Love Family.
Alright, baby, I'm not do all that.
Well, how it go?
I'm not singing. I'll let somebody sing it for me. Come here. Come here.
She's supposed to be asleep.
Come sing it. Come sing it for me.
Sing it. Sing it. Come on.
Say it.
I'm gonna sing it with you. 1, 2, 3. It's the Love Family. And we out. Thank you guys. Mwah.
Hey, yo, Pluto, you going brazen? Okay, Joe, that's fine.